Welcome to Healing Conversations, the podcast about real stories and gentle practices that help us return to ourselves. I'm Kesha, and I'm honored to share this space with you. This is Healing Conversations, Episode 2. Survival Mode Isn't a Personality. A few days ago, I ordered groceries. Nothing remarkable about that. Just one of those ordinary errands that keeps life moving. The groceries arrived, and the delivery driver started bringing them up to the entryway. There were people inside the house who could have helped me. The driver probably would have made extra trips if I had asked. But instead, I looked at the bags and thought, I don't want to bother anyone. So I picked up as many as I could carry, not because I had to, but because I wanted to make it easier for everyone else. And somewhere in between the car and the entryway, I dropped a bottle of wine. It shattered all across the entryway. It wasn't a catastrophe. No one was hurt. It was just a bottle of wine. But standing there looking at the broken glass, I had this strange realization. This wasn't about groceries. It was about the way I'd been living my life. One of the things I've been wrestling with lately is the word strong. People have called me strong most of my life. They've also used words like resilient, independent, capable. And for a long time, I wore those words like a badge of honor. I still believe resilience is a beautiful thing. But lately I've started asking, what if some of what I've been calling strength is actually survival? Because there's a version of strength that quietly teaches you not to ask for help, not to inconvenience anyone, to figure it out yourself, to carry it all, to keep going, even when you're exhausted, especially when you're exhausted. And if I'm honest, that version of strength has cost me more than I realize. The broken wine bottle reminded me of another moment, one that still makes me pause. It was the last Christmas before my ex-husband asked for a divorce. Our house was full. There were over 20 people coming for Christmas dinner. I made a prime rib roast, homemade sauce from scratch, fresh dinner rolls, all of the sides, special desserts, drinks. The house was beautifully decorated. From the outside, everything looked exactly the way I wanted it to. What almost no one knew was that I had pneumonia. Not a cold. I wasn't just a little bit under the weather. I had pneumonia. And I was taking bottle after bottle of cold medicine, not because I thought it would heal me, but because I hoped it would suppress the symptoms long enough for me to get through the day. Looking back now, I shouldn't have hosted Christmas dinner. I shouldn't have cooked for 20 people. I shouldn't have been standing in the kitchen at all. The groceries had to be picked up by my husband because I was too sick to go grocery shopping. And even then, the mental load was still mine. He called me from the grocery store, asking where everything was. So even when someone else was doing the shopping, I was still carrying the planning, still carrying the responsibility, still carrying the meal, still carrying everyone else's experience of Christmas. And the question I've been asking myself lately isn't, why didn't anyone stop me? Why didn't my ex-husband cancel Christmas? It's not even why didn't he order catering or get someone else to cook. Although those are valid questions, the question that has stayed with me is why didn't I believe I was allowed to stop? When people hear the phrase survival mode, they usually imagine chaos or trauma or crisis. But survival mode can look surprisingly productive. It can look like being the reliable one, the one who always figures it out, the one who never asks for anything, the one who carries the groceries. The one who hosts Christmas dinner with pneumonia? The one who answers, "I'm fine," before anyone finishes asking the question? It can even look successful because survival mode often gets rewarded. People admire you when you're being dependable, resilient, selfless, strong. And here's the hard part. Some relationships begin to organize themselves around your willingness to carry more than you should. Not because it's healthy, but because it works. Until it doesn't. Looking back, I can see that my marriage wasn't built on one Christmas dinner or one grocery trip. Those were simply moments that revealed a much older pattern. Somewhere along the way, I learned that my needs could wait, that everyone else's comfort came first, that asking for help meant asking too much. I don't know exactly where I learned that, but I know I've carried that belief throughout most of my life, and it's shaped far more of my life than I realized. Recently in therapy, I started talking about resilience, and I realized something that completely changed how I see myself. I don't want to stop being resilient. I want to redefine what resilience means. Because I don't think that resilience means carrying everything alone. I think resilience is allowing yourself to be supported before you're falling apart. It's trusting your needs aren't an inconvenience. It's believing that receiving care doesn't make you less capable. It's letting someone else make the second trip with the groceries. It's canceling Christmas dinner when your body is begging you to rest. It's believing that the people who love you would rather have you healthy than be impressed. Healing has taught me that survival asks, "How much more can I carry?" But recovery asks, "What can I finally put down?" So this week, I want to leave you with a question that I've been sitting with myself. Where in your life are you carrying something simply because you've convinced yourself it's easier than asking for help? Not because you're weak, not because you've done something wrong, but because somewhere along the way you've learned that your needs should come second. If that's you, I hope you know this. Your needs are not an inconvenience. Your humanity is not a burden. And maybe strength isn't measured by how much you can carry. Maybe it's measured by how safe you feel putting something down. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's conversation brought something into focus for you, take a few minutes to sit with it before rushing to fix it. Awareness is often the first act of self-trust. And if you're looking for support as you rebuild your relationship with yourself, I've created resources that are available whenever you're ready. No pressure, just a gentle step if it feels right. Until next time, take good care of yourself because you're worth caring for.